Hillier's has become, over the last 20 years or so, the biggest UK tree supplier. And we've sort of established a reputation of supplying all the major construction projects, for example, O2 Arena, Scottish Parliament. We were absolutely thrilled when we realised that the Olympics was coming to London and to England, and we sort of was hoping there'd be opportunities, but I don't think we really realised what a massive opportunity the Olympics was going to be for us, because we're all about supplying plants, in particular these mature trees. And the whole of the Olympics is arranged around this incredible parkland. We found out about Compete 4 because, as with any other major project, we are monitoring how this is going to be tendered, which, to be frank, you have to do for any commercial project. At quite an early stage, you had to just put in some quite basic details about your company to register, and they were quite simple details which I think almost anybody could have completed. We had to register, as you do with a lot of these opportunities, and we were invited to do a pre-qualification stage 1. We sent back our first stage of pre-qualification. Following that, we were invited to go for a second stage of pre-qualification, which we were also successful, and then we heard afterwards they funnelled it down to 9 companies who have then actually got an invitation to tender. The actual tender itself was divided 20% compliance and 80% on price. Now this is quite normal that there will be a split, and the deadline was fairly tight for us, so myself and my colleague James Hillier, literally that became all we did for about a week. We just worked on producing perfect compliance documents. The feedback we did get afterwards was that we did actually get maximum points for our compliance. We had a deadline to actually publish, as they call it. You have to upload all your documents, and then you have to press the publish button when you're happy. So the big lesson I learned from that one was leave yourself plenty of time for that final bit, because we did come across a few problems. However, we did hit the deadline, it was gone, and we were all incredibly relieved. We got a phone call and the client said they were coming down to look at us, look at our facilities, and basically check up on everything we've been telling them, which was fair enough. And we had a very good meeting and a very good inspection. But the interesting thing was, things were also becoming very time critical. We realised, and the clients realised, that if the trees weren't containerised by the end of March, the trees would not be ready for when they needed them to start planting at the Olympics. And at this stage, we didn't have an order, really looked at the risk and took the decision that we would start containerising up the entire Olympic Park order. And I think when the people came down visiting us, when they realised what we'd done, I think they were quite astonished, and obviously they realised it was a very brave and a very bold move from us, and potentially a very foolish move. It was a calculated risk that we took, and it did pay dividends for us, because we were then got the order awarded in about June. But we've actually still got bottles of champagne that we haven't opened to this day. It's not that we're not happy to have it, but it's always been, we've been working out, once we've had this Olympic order, we've been working flat out on it. To go for a project like this, you have to have everything in place. And for Hillier's, the Olympics came along, it was all perfect timing. The Olympics it's one of those things that really does make you proud. We're really proud to be involved in it. Love it every time there's a glimpse of anything to do with the Olympics and you can see our trees.